AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Opening weekend of conference play around the SEC in the books. David Dellucci, SEC Network, good enough to join us, talk a little bit about it. Luch, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Always our pleasure. Okay, LSU panic meter, 1 to 10. Where is it?
5.
Okay.
Remember 2024?
I do.
I mean, it's going to take the Tigers a little while. 2024, everybody was panicked because conference record was not very good, and I think it took the Tigers up to about end of August. End of April 20th, right around there before they got on track. And I think it's going to be the same. The talent is too good on this team. They're going to come around. Remember, we are in the era of transfer portal where players come from other programs and you're still trying to figure each other out and learn who the leaders are, who's vocal, who's not. And the more they play, the more comfortable they'll get. And then I think the batting averages will pick up. But it's just been a lot of inconsistency, decent hitting, poor pitching, good pitching, no hitting. But it'll come around.
It's interesting that you went to the portal players, because we're having the conversation a bit ago, Luch, and wondering, like, are you maybe approaching the point 5 weeks into the season, if you're Jay Johnson, that maybe you start thinking about making a change and giving some of maybe that freshman class or some of those young guys who have been in the program a chance to play over the veterans you acquired via the portal who haven't been performing?
I think we're getting close, and you're going to play Grambling midweek. You need a spark in the lineup. It's a good chance you may see some new faces in there. I tell you, Stanfield coming back into the lineup is a huge addition. He was going to help out a lot, especially at the 9 hole. So he's basically your second leadoff hitter when the lineup comes around. He will be helpful. But you also, it's a good time to get some guys some innings, and you have to, man. You have to mix it up. You may even see some starting pitching. The starting rotation may get mixed up, because one thing when you're in conference is you have to set the tone in game 1. That's going to dictate the rest of the series. Momentum is a huge part of winning an SEC series. So the time may come that you may see the rotation shuffled as well.
What would you do if you were LSU and you were going to flip your rotation?
Man, I really like William Smith. I like the way that he's got an explosive fastball. He's fearless. This is his second year in the SEC. He understands everything from scheduling to mentality, and there's no atmosphere that's going to be too much for him just because he's been there and done that. I think that's a good option to have. LSU just needs strike throwers, man. They just need to stop putting guys on base. Wild pitches, hit by pitches, the free passes is really hurting them. And sometimes that can take its toll on an offense. Also the other way around. If the offense is not scoring runs, it puts a lot of pressure on the pitching staff. They try to strike guys out. and it's just as much of a mental weight than it is physical.
Yeah. 25 walks for LSU's pitching staff in 3 games against Vanderbilt. Not going to cut it. Luch, I want to get your thoughts, speaking of atmospheres. Mississippi State, Arkansas was a top 10 match, top 5 matchup, as a matter of fact. Arkansas wins the series 2-1. Biggest takeaway from that weekend up in Fayetteville?
Could have gone either way. Arkansas wins on a walk-off home run in game 1. Really close matchup between the guys, and let's not underemphasize the home field advantage in the SEC, and I think that's what really pulled it out for Arkansas. Their pitching staff is elite, and they showed it this weekend against a very good Mississippi State offense. But when you play those guys over there, and it was record-setting crowd, that's what Arkansas feeds off of. So a really good matchup right out of the gate. Could have gone either way, but the Razorbacks pulled it out.
David Dellucci is with us, SEC Network. Speaking of could have gone either way, Tennessee was about 5 feet from a walk-off series win against Georgia. You ever pimped a homer, Luch, that didn't leave the yard?
I slow trotted. I had a grand slam in 1 inning when I was at Catholic High. In the same inning, I came up again. I think it was against Santa Ma maybe, and hit one that I thought was gone. So I slow trotted. I didn't pimp it. I've never pimped anything. It hit the top of the fence, and I made it to second. And Coach Jerry Garridell made it a point to tell me that I needed to run, and that was my lesson. Never again did I slow trot anything. But look, can we stop? I mean, like throwing the bat down like you're mad at the bat when you hit a home run. That happened about 5 times in the SEC this weekend. Really, can we stop that? Can we act like we've been there before and at least take care? I was always like, take care of the bat. If you take care of the bat, it'll take care of you. Stop slamming the bat down.
What did that bat do to you, Lawless? You dork. I don't know.
And I promise you, even though Rally Cap hadn't started yet this season, I promise you we will show that clip. We're not letting Lawless off the hook right there. He was saved by selection day for basketball. They didn't show that replay enough. We will make sure we get it in Rally Cap.
Hey, I wanted to ask you about Texas, another orange squad there. Texas loses for the first time this year, but they did win the series against the Rebs. Give me a couple of takeaways from that weekend.
Yeah, Texas is good. Gosh darn, their pitching staff is incredible. Ole Miss pulled out game 1 with a 9th inning, 2-out grand slam. That was a back-and-forth game in game 1, but Luke Harrison as the game 2 pitcher and Dylan Valantes as Texas's game 3, both those guys are really legit. So that's the thing about Texas is Ruger Riojas, their ace, kind of gave it up a little bit in game 1, but they have the ability to throw 2 guys one after the other that can shut the door. So Texas is going to win a lot of series. And I believe that is Schlossnagel's 9th series win in conference out of the 11 that he's faced as a Longhorn manager or coach. That's pretty impressive.
Luch, I want to ask you about LSU's next 2 opponents, Oklahoma and Kentucky. Both are going to come to the box, and both have been really impressive. First, biggest takeaway from the Sooners series win here to open up conference play?
Sooners are good. They don't do anything great, but when their pitching is on, LJ Mercurius is their ace, and then Cam Johnson. All the LSU fans remember Cam Johnson over here. He did not have a good outing in opening weekend of conference play, but just a solid team overall. Jackson Willits, he was actually ejected for cruelty to his bat on a home run in game 1. He's a legit hitter and a lot of weapons. 62 stolen bases, I think, out of 67 tries. So they're going to try to get things. They're very similar to Kentucky.
Yeah,
they're going to try to get things moving on the base pass. Solid team. You don't want to sleep on them.
Yeah, Skip Johnson's obviously a great pitching mind, and then you talk about Mingione and Kentucky. They play a little bit of small ball, but a season opening sweep in conference play for the Wildcats. What should be our big takeaway looking at Kentucky this past weekend?
Kentucky is as good fundamentally as they come, and they have been. They will play the small game. They'll beat you anyway. It's old school baseball. Good defensive team. Their pitching is hit or miss, man. If they're on, they're legit. They've got a young man named Tyler Bell. He is one of the best athletes in the conference. He's been plagued with injuries. That's the guy, if he's in the lineup, that's the one you circle, and you don't want him to beat you. But, they beat Alabama. Alabama played really well. Alabama just too many self-inflicted errors. Kentucky was able to squeak that out, and that's what they're going to do is they're going to let the opposition beat themselves, and they're used to winning 1-run, 2-run ball games.
He's David Dellucci, SEC Network. Luch, anything else, player, team, weekend series, anything else that you think kind of hits the top of the resume meter 1 weekend of conference play?
Well, look, Auburn is number 5 in the country. Who would have ever thought that? They've only lost 2 games. And congratulations, Auburn. You're going to face Georgia Tech midweek, and then you're going to get Texas right after that. And amazingly, Georgia Tech is hitting a ridiculous, I don't know, it's like 469 as a team. It's something absurd. So Auburn is going to get tested this midweek game and then this weekend. We'll see how good they really are. But number 5 in the country is very impressive for the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah, by the way, Georgia Tech is ranked 3rd in the country, so that's a top 5 matchup in a midweek game at Plainsman Park coming up on Tuesday, so one worth keeping an eye on. David Dellucci, SEC Network. Hey, when is Rally Cap starting? Next week?
No, we will not go on until after basketball. So the further the SEC is in the tournament, the less Rally Cap you'll see. So I'm torn, man. I want the SEC to go all the way, but we're ready. We're ready to expose some premature bat flips and all that kind of stuff. So we'll get there. We'll get there.
Who's in charge of programming over there? What a fail. Luch, we appreciate it, man. Thanks as always.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. We'll see. Don't comment, Luch. I'm not getting you in trouble. I'll say it. I'll take the slings and arrows. It's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by Supper Club. They're closed on Monday. Remember, Supper Club closed Sunday, Monday. So we've got a few more weeks of Lent. So if you're thinking about those Lenten Fridays and where you may want to go eat, I'm telling you, it's actually a great opportunity to book a reservation at Supper Club on a Friday if you're not going to eat meat, to force yourself into trying one of the seafood options. I've told you this before. We'll go to Supper Club, and I'll tell Erica, I'm like, do not let me order a steak. Because I just default to it. It always looks awesome on the menu. There's always something I want to try. There's a different special. It's a different Sagrera cut. There's always some steak I want to eat. But everything on there is amazing. So if you go on a Friday in Lent, it's actually a great opportunity to say, okay, well, now I have to try the Ora King salmon or the Chilean sea bass or the scallops or you name it, the lobster or the Alaskan king crab legs or the stone crabs. They got so many amazing seafood options at Supper Club. So go on a Friday in Lent and force yourself outside of your box to try one of those delicious options at Supper Club. Right there on Perkins near Bluebonnet. Supper Club. BTR.com for your reservation, supperclubbtr.com. Have a one-of-a-kind dining experience in Baton Rouge and a one-of-a-kind experience anywhere. Supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. All right, y'all. Glad you're aboard with us here. Monday show is brought to you by Relief Windows. We're going to knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Oh, this was interesting. As the NCAA tournament is set to get underway with the first 4 on Tuesday, yeoman's work by a reporter who, via Freedom of Information records request, submitted records requests for 200 college basketball programs to see how much all these programs spend on men's basketball. And it does give you sort of a sense of buy-in. And as we're having this conversation right now about LSU missing the tournament and what the future of the program may be, it's certainly an appropriate time to look at this and give you sort of a barometer of where LSU stands. We'll get to that as we continue here on AFR.
After Further Review.
REV. Let's rev. Let's rev.com. Let's rev.com. Let's rev.com. Hey, I love telling you about Rev be it for your home or your business. Remember, more than 70,000 Louisiana home and business owners trust Rev because you're backed by a local company. Whenever you call Rev, like let's say you have an issue for whatever reason, and you call Rev, you're not getting routed to an overseas call center. Rev is here in our local market, serving Southeast Louisiana like they've been doing for 90 years. Lightning fast internet speeds up to 5 gigs, backed by the power of an all-fiber network and a local business with local people. REV. Go to letsrev.com, letsrev.com. Better service, better products, better prices. Let's Rev. letsrev.com.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. And oh, we do shutters too.
Multi-platinum Grammy-winning superstar Zach Bryan is coming to Tiger Stadium Saturday, March 28th for the Death Valley Live Stadium Series. And 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge is hooking you up with free tickets. Register now at 1045ESPN.com for your chance to win.
I think we're also going to get that link up at LouisianaSports.net. If it's not yet, it should be. But make sure you go register to win tickets. Muse thinks Zach Bryan's a bad person. I'd say you be careful throwing stones in a glass house. But, Muse is over there just living his best life.
You insinuating that I'm a bad person?
Puffing the Magic Dragon.
Kind of sounds like you are.
Maybe. I'm just saying that I don't know if you're a bad person. I see you in here for 3 hours and you go live your life. And I don't know what you do. And maybe what you do are bad things. But that's a really public person.
Don't do bad things.
And you don't know anything about him. And what he's like behind closed doors, and you're just out there throwing shade and being really judgmental.
And people talk. I mean, I'm just saying, like, people who are with people talk.
I just got a Hulu charge for $33.68.
Huh?
I don't have Hulu. Why am I getting charged for Hulu? And if I have Hulu, like we have cable, we have Rev. Like, why am I also paying for Hulu? I didn't have a conversation with my wife. I think sometimes she just, like, hits the buy button on things just because. Just, oh, I want that. Buy. Oh, that looks fun. Buy. No. You don't have to buy everything all the time. Whew. This is why I'm never retiring, Muse.
Yeah.
Ever.
30, it's just a weird charge, though.
I'm going to be sitting here at, like, 78 years old being like, midweek games don't matter. I've been telling you for 50 years.
Oh, man.
Midweek games. When Jay Johnson Jr. was coaching this program.
Jay Johnson Jr.?
I remember. I'm not leaving.
Oh, man.
Erica's Hulu charge just came through.
Might be something different, man. By 78, I don't know if Hulu is going to be the thing then anymore. It'll be a different streaming service by then.
Erica want a new AI contact lens. That actually might be here like next year.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
Whatever the next thing is. There's a guy named Matt Brown. Don't know who he is. Never heard of him. He's got about 50,000 followers on Twitter. Good for him. He's got a website called... I don't really care. I'll tell you what it is in a second. I have the screen, full screen. He FOIA'd, that's Freedom of Information Act, by the way. 200. Paulie, what is going on with the Relief Windows logo today? Every time I look up, that logo is popping up in a different box. Anyway, shout out to, I love Relief Windows. But man, we're having trouble with that logo today. Anyway, he FOIA'd 200 basketball programs to get their expenses. How much did you spend on your men's basketball program? This is not NIL. This is how much did you spend on your program? Coaching salaries, travel budget, recruiting budget, whatever, right? Indiana, IU, Bloomington, $32 million. By the way, the next, number 2 in the country was Tennessee at $23 million. Indiana, $9 million more than Tennessee. Now, it is worth noting that private universities don't have to disclose this. So Duke, for example, could be higher than that. I just don't know. Indiana, Tennessee, Arizona, Texas, UConn, Arkansas, Michigan State, Kentucky. There's your list there at the top. Kentucky at $20 million, Arkansas 21.2, Texas 22.4, Tennessee 23.1. Pretty incredible to see those numbers. Then Auburn, right on Kentucky's heels, 20.5. Louisville, Kansas, Illinois, Ole Miss at 18.2. UCLA, North Carolina, Virginia, Texas Tech. Those are the top programs in the country, which get you down about 16 million. Then you start to have like a little bit of a clump, right? A little cluster altogether of those next closest. By the way, Matt Brown, I want to give him a shout out. Matt Brown is Extra Points MB. That's his website. Extra Points MB. MB is in Matt Brown. Extra Points MB. Congrats to him, dude. He foiled 200 basketball programs. That's a hell of a lot of legwork. Good for him. Deserves a shout out. If you're looking at the SEC, it's worth noting that Vanderbilt excluded from the list as a private school, so they're not listed. It's only 16 SEC schools were listed here. The big takeaway, I think, for me, in kind of looking at where LSU is, the old adage of you get what you pay for. Well, Georgia at the bottom, 10.4. South Carolina, 11.07. And LSU, 11.1. Only Georgia and South Carolina spend less on their men's basketball program than LSU. So you wonder why you are where you are? We have this conversation all the time whenever we talk about revenue. And I know that a lot of people don't like this conversation per se, but you know it to be true. Like, this is an inherent truth. It takes money to win. And I'm not just talking about NIL and rev share. I'm talking about all the way around. You have to pay coaches, and you have to have nice facilities, and you have to have travel budget and recruiting budget and support staff and all the things that cost money. And so, if you're looking, like, just hypothetically, right? As we've talked about LSU, and I've shared these numbers with you before, right? LSU, the most recent fiscal year, netted about $2 million profit. As I've had it explained to me from people at LSU with their projections, at its max, right? If LSU basketball won, filled the PMAC, made a postseason run, all that stuff, they could probably add another it was 4 to 6 million in profit, bottom line, net. So if you're at 2 million now, you could get to 6 to 8 million profit. So what type of investment, though, does it take to get there? If you're at 11 million right now and you invest another $4 million into basketball and your expenses go to 15 million, well, that puts you right there around where Missouri is. Like, Tennessee's at 23 million. Texas, 22.4. Arkansas, 21.2. Kentucky, 20.7. Auburn, 20.5. They missed the tournament. 20.5, and they missed the tournament. Ooh. Ole Miss 18-2. Understand, if what I'm saying is you go invest another $6 million or $4 million into LSU basketball, which puts you around 14, 15 million. You're still 3 to 4 million shy of Ole Miss's investment in basketball. And they're 6th in the league. You just have to ask yourself the question, how badly do you want to win in men's basketball? And I think the question is less about how much money can you make in men's basketball and what is the brand equity in being a respectable or competitive men's basketball program. Like, that's really the question that you got to ask. Like, we talk about women's basketball all the time, and I use the term loss leader. Women's basketball is never going to make money, ever. It's just how little can you lose? Like, you could, if Kim Mulkey left and you went to paying your women's basketball coach $750K, you save $3 million. So instead of losing $8 million a year, you lose $5 million a year. Okay, well, it's better, but your brand equity is going to take a much bigger hit than that, because having Kim Mulkey and a relevant women's basketball program is an immense marketing tool for your athletic department, for your university, for your LSU brand as a whole. So that's really the conversation that you have to have with respect to basketball. It's not financially going to change. Being good in men's basketball is not going to change the trajectory of your athletic department. It's just, do you want to be good for the brand equity? I think LSU wants to be good in everything, but it costs money to be good in everything. So I'll go back to where we started, where you don't like these conversations, but this goes to show you your financial investment is nowhere near what it needs to be to compete with the top tier of the Southeastern Conference. So if you want to get there, it's going to cost money. Well, how do you get that money? You can't just keep upping ticket prices and, TAF charges. You got to find new ways to generate revenue, which is why we talk about Venture Global on the field and Woodside Energy jersey patches and other creative ways that LSU is trying to generate revenue, new revenue streams. And I think that is going to be in the next wave, this sort of next iteration of this era of college athletics. It's going to be what athletic departments can find those new creative revenue streams to continue investing in their sports to be able to win without just effectively charging the heck out of their fan base and creating so much donor fatigue among their generous benefactors. And I don't have, by the way, I don't have the answer to that. Like, I don't know what the answer is there. I know LSU's done some really innovative and creative things, but they haven't done enough. So what's next? I suspect we'll find out. I mean, everyone has to have a plan. If you're not formulating a plan or a strategy right now, then you're losing. It's like you're watching the world burn and you're just standing by idly watching it without going to get buckets and hoses trying to put that thing out. So it'll be fascinating to see. But this is a black and white illustration of why you are not good in men's basketball. You've not come close to making the commitment to being financially, to being good in men's basketball. And I don't know that LSU has the wherewithal to make that type of commitment right now. So you better find new ways to generate revenue if you want to be. All right, it's after further review. We're brought about Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Love telling you about Lee Michaels. They're awesome, and they're everywhere. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport. Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. So many people get married in the spring. Weather's nice. People love to have outdoor weddings in the spring. That also means that a lot of people have anniversaries in the spring. Well, if that's you and you're having a springtime anniversary, you got an anniversary coming up, thrill her with a beautiful anniversary gift from Lee Michaels. Maybe it's a beautiful pair of earrings, bracelets, pendants, necklaces, so many different options. Watches. Check out their selection at lmfj.com, lmfj.com. That's the website. You can start there. And they have something for every budget. Even when you go shop on the website, you can put in your budget, and it'll give you a list of different items, beautiful items within your budget. But I would always recommend you just go into the store. They've mastered minimizing the salesy nature, which is sometimes uncomfortable for people. At Lee Michaels, they want you to walk in and to be thrilled and not feel pressured and to be thrilled with whatever your purchase may be. And if you want to try on 100 pieces of jewelry and not buy anything today, that's fine too. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. All right, y'all, it's AFR. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Jimmy will be here for Otter Locks in about 15 minutes. So you can always get those picks online at louisianasports.net, louisianasports.net. Totally free. Otter Locks are up at louisianasports.net, or you can get them from Jimmy here, about 12 minutes from right now. Let me knock out our another break. We'll continue here. Stick here at AFR.
After further review.
Weekend just passed, and we had temps that were upper 70s, touching 80s. If your AC's not keeping up already, it's 75 right now in Baton Rouge. I know we're going to have some cold temps overnight here for a couple of nights in a row, but we're going to get right back into the warmer temps. And if you're finding that your AC isn't keeping up, call River City's 1 Hour Air. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with a giant clock on the side. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. Remember, when you call River City's 1 Hour Air, they'll send a technician to your house that's expertly trained, and that's going to give you options. They're never going to perform work without your consent, and they're going to go diagnose whatever issue you may be having, and then they're going to give you a good, better, and best option for how to address it, and you decide what's best for your family, for your budget, how you want to address it. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and we do shutters too.
Yeah, the DR is the toughest lineup I've ever faced, for sure. I think they would probably say the same thing about facing us. Expectation-wise, it's been awesome. I didn't really have any expectations coming into the tournament. Didn't really know what to expect, and it hasn't disappointed.
Paul Skeens was just awesome for the United States in the World Baseball Classic semifinal with the win over the Dominican Republic 2-1. The Americans now will face the winner of Venezuela and Italy. That'll be tonight, and then the championship game will be tomorrow, Tuesday. For all the marbles, and Team USA manager Mark DeRose had this to say about, what do we call him, America's Ace? Is that what we're calling America's Ace? Yeah, about America's Ace.
Listen, you can make the argument he's the best pitcher in the game. We had the other one, I think, in our dugout as well, watching the game, in Tarek Skubal. Special presence, special man, wants the moment. Wasn't too big for him, controlled his emotions, made pitches. I mean, the pitch Junior Caminero hit out on no 2 count. I mean, that ball's on the black outside, maybe a little up, but it was just crazy talent all over the field.
It's one of the things that has made, for a lot of people, the World Baseball Classic really enjoyable, is that you have the best players in the world playing in it. And I don't know, when this is all done, we'll take a look at television numbers and a lot of the different metrics that'll imply just what people's level of interest is and has been in this tournament. Candidly, I've been far more interested in part of this is just obviously my profession, but in the LSU baseball season, because I have to sit here and talk about it at length every day on this show and on multiple shows, Locked on LSU and here and everything. But I do think this is the most interest I can remember, just getting audience feedback in the World Baseball Classic, and it helps when the Americans say, you know what, hell with it, like, we're going all in. We're not just trying to field a team to see how it goes and let Japan or the DR or Puerto Rico go win this thing. Like, when you say we want to go win it and the best players commit and you get Skeens and Skubal, as frontline rotation guys, yeah. I mean, you're going to be all in. And y'all know what I say, man. I'm not joking about it. I mean, we ham it up when we do like the Olympic updates. I'm talking about whipping forerunners. I mean, I obviously have tremendous respect for all these different amazing athletes in all their countries. But yeah, I mean, you paint that thing in red, white, and blue, I want to win. Of course I do. I think most people feel that. And it's been intriguing. I think this has been, you tell me if I'm wrong. If you disagree, let me know. But I really do, I'm not rhetorical. I mean, email me, tweet me, text me. I really feel like this has been the most level of interest that this audience, and I can only speak for this audience, that I've had people asking me and reacting to the WBC. There have been years where this thing's happened. I didn't even know it was happening. But maybe it's just you get Skeens and Bregman, so two LSU guys that are at the front of this thing and part of the face of this thing. So maybe that's part of it, why it's more intriguing here and engaging here. But really feel like it's been a pretty smashing success. We'll see if the Americans can get the job done on Tuesday, facing either Italy or Venezuela. Again, that game is tonight, so we'll see how it goes tonight. And then championship game will be tomorrow. All right, our Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows. Always appreciate Brandon and Adrian Holly, the great team over at Relief Windows. Windows door siding, they do shutters too. It's Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. And now roller shades, so you can go to the website, check that out. You want to climate control or light control any room in your home? Our friends at Relief Windows can help, and they always give you exceptional customer service. Brandon says it all the time. Yes, they sell windows, door siding, shutters, but their number one product is customer satisfaction. Have one conversation with anyone at Relief Windows, and you'll understand what he means. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. The LSU women's basketball team learned their draw, so we know that LSU is a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament, and they'll host first and second round games at the Maravich Center. So LSU is going to host the 15 seed Jacksonville in the first round, and then 7 seed Texas Tech and 10 seed Villanova are the other teams. So the way it'll play out, Friday, it'll be LSU against Jacksonville. All this is up, by the way, at LouisianaSports.net if you want it absolutely free. You can get all the info. But Friday, it'll be LSU against Jacksonville, the 2:15 game, and then Texas Tech Villanova in the 7:10 game. And then obviously on Sunday, you have the TBD games with the winners and the losers. So, I shouldn't say with the losers. The losers will be out, but the winners will play on Sunday. So we'll see how that goes. And hopefully Tigers will win, advance, and Kim Mulkey's squad will be on hopefully the national championship number 2 with how the draw goes. So they're in the Sacramento region. Remember, there's 2 regionals in the women's tournament. It's not 4 like in the men's field. You have 2 in the women's field. So LSU's in Sacramento, the Sacramento regional. So along with LSU, UCLA, who eliminated the Tigers a year ago, were the 1 seed. LSU's the 2. Duke is the 3, and then Minnesota is the 4. So Mulkey in her 5th season at LSU. They've hosted NCAA tournament games every year that Kim's been in Baton Rouge, and it's the first time LSU has been a 2 seed since 2008. So this is the highest seed that LSU has been in Kim Mulkey's 5 seasons. We'll see if they can make good on it. Tigers against Jacksonville Friday at the Maravich Center. All right, it's after further review, and we're glad you're hanging out with us here. Let me knock out our final break of the show. We'll come back. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions over at Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter if you're looking for skilled blue-collar labor. It doesn't matter if you have any type of office job in any industry you're trying to fill. If you're trying to find the person to make your business more productive, Glow Resources can help. They have a proven track record. So proud of Jareth and the whole crew over at Glow Resources. This past year when the Business Report released their top 100 private businesses in Baton Rouge, they made the list. No doubt they'll make it again this year. Excited to see that issue come out when it does. And I'll be happy to sing their praises from the highest mountaintop because they're great people. And by the way, like when I sit down and chat with them, one of the reasons people like doing business with them is just because they're fun people. They get results, but people like doing business with Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and we do shutters too.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Monday edition of AFR, presented by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Hey, I want to remind you, Friday is the deadline to enter for the Parish Construction and Roofing 25K giveaway. We've been talking about it. We launched it at Super Bowl. Someone is going to win $25,000. And we're going to be really excited to hand over that check. But all you have to do is sign up for a free no-obligation roofing inspection. I know there was awful weather over the weekend. I mean, Sunday night into Monday morning was horrendous. And then late last week, there was awful rain as well. So if you had an issue with your roof, great opportunity to get a roof inspection, and it could win you $25K. So somebody's going to win $25,000 cash from Parish Construction Roofing. All you have to do is let us go do a free no-obligation roofing inspection. So you have to have had the inspection completed by the time we draw. So this Friday is the deadline to enter. So that gives us next week to complete the inspection. Then Friday the 27th, a week from Friday, is when we'll draw the winner. But again, this Friday is the deadline to go fill out the form for the 25K giveaway. So we'd love to give somebody $25K. Could very well be you. Go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com. All right, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Auto Locks.
Auto Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
You, Otter, what up?
What's up, Matthew? Getting ready, breaking down these brackets, man. Getting ready for our shows Thursday and Friday over at Bally's in town at the DraftKings Sportsbook.
Let's go. Anything we looking at tonight?
Yeah, just shifting over to the NBA tonight. Team in the Eastern Division, the Southeast Division with the Orlando Magic. They won a season-high 7 in a row, and they still only have a 1-game lead over the Miami Heat right now. The Hawks aren't too far behind as well, but this is a team that a lot of people thought would be kind of come together a little earlier, but they're peaking right now, and we're going to take them, with a soft number on the road at Atlanta. So taking the Orlando Magic. And then in the World Baseball Classic, man, it's been fun. Had the Dominican lineup against Skeens was fun to watch last night, man. Both had their little shares of victory. And how about his teammate Bednar with the big spot in relief? But Italy's been not just been producing runs, but Aaron Nola had his worst season by far of his career, had some injuries that were involved as well. He looked really sharp first time around in pool play. He gets to start tonight, so we're going to go with Italia in the as a soft dog tonight in the World Baseball Classic. That's getting ready to start in less than 10 minutes.
Do you like Italy on the run line or the money line?
Money line.
Okay, that's plus $1.45, so a really good number there.
Yeah,
with Italia, or as my grandma would say, Italy.
So yeah, Venezuela, came from behind with those big home runs, and they'll have a home crowd tonight in Miami. But still, man, Nola just looks super sharp first time. Ronald Acuna is having a great tournament for Venezuela so far.
All right, Orlando on the hardwood plus 3.5, and then Italy on the money line, the World Baseball Classic against Venezuela. Where are you tomorrow?
We're at Dozy Place on Government Street in Mid-City.
Awesome. All right, Otter, good luck. Thank you.
All right, good luck.
All right, man, we'll see you. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. Jimmy, by the way, is a Williamson Eye Center patient. Mentioned it before. But I think telling Jimmy's story and my story kind of illustrates the difference, right? I mean, I had LASIK, was horribly nearsighted. Could barely see my hand in front of my face. Had LASIK, now seeing better than 20/20 and have been for nearly 8 years since I had LASIK. Jimmy had the custom lens replacement. So he was farsighted. He needed the readers, needed the flashlight on his phone to see the menu in a dark restaurant. Had his custom lens replacement, now doesn't need readers anymore. No matter your age or your refractive issue, they have a refractive solution to where you can ditch the contacts and glasses forever. But it starts with taking that first step. And I just want this to be the push, the shove for you to just go. Just go for that consultation. Sit down with Dr. Blake Williamson. Have a conversation. Call 924-2020, 924-2020. Want to see 2020? Call 924-2020 or go to williamsoni.com. That's williamsoneye.com. All right, y'all. Tomorrow could very well prove to be a pivotal day in the future of LSU athletics. As we mentioned, Will Wade and the NC State Wolfpack, they're going to play a first four game against Texas. I am not a root for the conference guy, but I will probably be rooting for the conference in hopes that Texas beats NC State. If the Wolfpack are eliminated, then if LSU is going to make a play for Will Wade, they'll be able to do it. We'll know what that solution will be shortly thereafter. All right, it's going to do it for us here. You missed anything AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf. Muse Pauly, thanks. Y'all have an awesome night. Looking forward to Tuesday's show. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Hey, remember, we're just at the middle of the month right now on the 16th. But our friends over at South Point Volkswagen have an incredible deal for the remainder of March. Okay, this is just for till the end of the month. 0% financing for 60 months. It's 5 years. I don't math, but I know that. 0% for 60 months and a $1,000 customer bonus on 2026 Volkswagen Atlas models. That's good until the end of the month. So you want to get into a brand new Atlas from South Point Volkswagen, 0% for 60 months plus $1,000 customer bonus. Told you, they are Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. They've got more inventory, and they got the best deals. So get on by and see our friends at South Point Volkswagen or shop them online at southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?